Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our round five of Shah-Maat Chess Championship. We are going to have a great set of rounds today. So I hope you will enjoy. Our final rounds are scheduled this Sunday. So let's go on to our round five. So we have Divyanshu and Ronak with us. Welcome.
Yes, so currently in the round five for game one, we are having Aston Salvaraz versus Lami. Both are very, very strong players. And we see that the game has already transitioned into a nice little middle game. Both are played a solid traditional chess opening. They have not tried anything too fancy. A fianchetted approach from Arul, which was nicely countered by exchanging the bishops. So let's see how it will go. What do you think, Ronak? How they are going to approach the game?
Yeah, your voice is cracking up a bit, I think. But I got what you're saying. I actually like White's position here. Engine says it's equal, but I think okay, F4. I was thinking F4, but what about it? F4 and F5 is
Yeah,
my plan here. Yeah, Divyanshu is not really audible. Is it to you? Anirudh? Why can't I hear anything? You are muted actually, I think.
Oh, okay. I'm just sharing the screen. Or if you can. Yeah,
Okay, I can actually, but I don't have the links to the games.
yeah I'm sharing. Just a minute. Check the first board diagram. Yes, in the start, then we can move on to another like down. Yeah, we will start in a minute. Okay, I will share just a minute.
Yeah, I can share too, but
Yeah,
if
yeah,
the links are inside the game section. But
yeah. You can see.
yeah.
Just a second, I will come.
Just threatening rook c2. Okay, let's see one.
Hello, Animesh.
yes.
So, yeah. So you guys can discuss this game. Yeah, continue. So I will come in.
Sorry for being just a little late.
Yeah, in the meantime, I'm praying that this game does not end in Adel winning so that I have a chance.
Yeah, sorry guys, I just had a little network issue.
Oh yeah.
So looking at the position, what do you guys think? I'm still liking White's position more because it has got more active pieces. I think Black is just trying to create a counter attack somewhere, but it is not getting that position right. according to me, I think.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, I think so. You're right, Divyanshu here.
But what does white play now? If he plays knight c3, then probably queen b6 is coming. Queen b6,
Yeah,
king h1,
that
king
is a
h1.
problem.
It's a very concrete position. You have to, yeah, you have to calculate it out actually. You cannot make general conclusions.
Very, very true.
Why does the engine say that it's equal or slightly better? Because even I like white's position. But
I guess white has got more space, but at the same time, it does not have the space to move the pieces right. And that's why it's showing us at equal position. They are not very, they are not any good squares for white, but at the same time, black has not got that space so it can create an attack or something.
I think knight e2 c3 is a move here, protecting the knight on d5.
Yeah,
Then
and
they go.
you keep a knight on that outpost if the bishop trades for it. Yeah, definitely. That's a good
True.
move.
Oh,
Yeah,
Okay,
he
he
plays
plays
it.
it.
But
this is
Oh,
not a good move.
couldn't he sacrifice the rook for the two knights?
Where?
Oh, he cannot. Okay, he cannot. But why does it show point one advantage, 1.1 advantage for black?
That is a very good question. I think rook c5 is the reason. I think
c5.
so.
Rook
Rook c5.
c5.
It's attacking the d5 knight.
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
sure, but it might be the reason. I'm not sure at all. Like rook c5, the what are the moves? Knight e3 cannot be played because of e cross
Because
f4.
the pawn can be taken, yeah,
Yeah,
on
the
f1.
knight b4. If I play knight b4, then what? Then a5 maybe.
Knight before a5, yeah, definitely. And the knight is kind of stuck then.
Yeah, knight
It will
c2
not.
is the move. Um, hmm.
I think the pawn is going either way, no matter whatever you play. After rook c5, the pawn is going, the f pawn is going down. And that's why I think it's a mistake.
Okay, yeah, that might be the reason. I was also thinking about changing up the move order. What if I play a5 first, threatening rook c5 to force the knight to e3?
Hmm.
Oh, yeah, that can also be played. You just cut off the escape route. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
a good one.
it's just a consideration. I don't know if it is too slow or something.
Oh,
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 he
he
plays
he
played
it.
rook
did play.
c5. Yeah, rook c5
And
was the most
according to the
obvious.
meter, yes, it was the move. Yeah, it was the
Yeah.
move.
Yeah, it's the most concrete choice. Okay,
Yes,
now
definitely.
white loses a pawn very simply,
True,
and
because he has to move the knight, and then that pawn will remain undefended.
yeah,
And you know what comes more problem with come for white because this the e file will open for black. This pawn will come onto f5 and he can create the chain on the king side. Moreover, that knight will become very active.
Yeah.
I think so. That knight which is
yeah,
sitting in the center of the board with one knight gone, it will be very active.
Hmm.
yeah,
I think that pawn chain on the king side will be more of a trouble with the open e file.
yeah. Yeah, I think we can safely assume that Arul is going to take this one.
What do you think, Ronak? What should be the white's best move to, kind of escape with minimal losses in this position?
Yeah, my philosophy in this kinds of position is generally to confuse the opponent somehow.
Oh,
And this is actually not confusing at all. This is
Oh,
just, yeah, they're just
winning a
forcing him to play a
piece
good move.
for a rook,
yeah.
and he has simply an extra piece here.
And
Oh, and he's trading the rooks as well.
Yeah, actually, Austin has this problem. I played with him before. Um, he has this problem. He panics in certain circumstances. You need a bit more resilience to handle the bad
Yeah.
yeah,
positions.
middle games are definitely tricky. And when you lose your one of your piece like that, it definitely stirs something in your mind. So it's not easy for players to do it.
And there is no counterplay.
I mean,
And
if White wanted to, have a extra two rook advantage, and then he suddenly, opened the file so Black could trade it again. So I didn't really understand why he did that.
Yeah,
I
he
also
got.
think b4 on its own was not a very good move. Like if
Yeah,
the
exactly.
rook was not there, b4 on its own is not a very good move. Not what you will play.
Yeah.
It does not help solidify the position. It just exposes it. Yeah, so they trade the rooks.
Oh, trading wasn't,
Plays up
the
material.
best move.
Yeah, it wasn't a base move, but it is obviously.
Yeah, it's still advantage for White. But what do you think was the best move there?
Yeah, we have to actually go at that point to understand.
Okay, so White again.
Might
So
be
keen,
Queen D6 or something.
so
It might
keen
be.
on losing the advantage.
Yeah, this is like engine can say things, but yeah, like trading the rooks
We
and
don't have engines in the game, and I think White didn't really see that he is losing by advantage 3.3.
yeah,
Okay, so should we switch another game?
yeah.
Yeah,
And Divyanshu, can you check if an other which game should?
Mortik is currently losing to Dharya. It's a
Okay,
+7 position for his opponent.
okay, we'll check that game.
Yeah,
Plus
and let me
seven.
just.
oh,
I still think
okay.
Alston has a playable position here if a, Arul makes just one small mistake, because rook end games are definitely playable against a bishop and knight if you can somehow manage the position.
So let's check Mortek's game. He is playing Dherer.
Yeah, and it's just 27th move and he's completely losing.
Okay.
What do you make of this?
Bhadia is also a good player. Yeah. I haven't played with him, I think.
White is completely winning because the rook
Yeah,
can
it's
stop
just
the pawn on d file.
yeah, it's just a rook up. Clear rook up.
Clear rook up, and the white king can go and pick up the pawns on the right side
Yeah.
later on in the game.
I'm more interested in knowing how he.
Also, yeah, uh,
Yeah, you were saying something.
yeah. Apparently, Harshit had a very dominated position against Pranav, but somehow he has abandoned the game and in a -4.5 position.
Really?
Maybe a network issue or something.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, maybe a network issue. And the position was really nice for him. He's playing back and it was -4.5. And suddenly he abandoned the game and now he has lost.
Oh, might be network.
Must be frustrating, if you
Yeah.
knew you were winning, which you were, and then something like this happens.
Uh,
Okay,
Yeah,
so
this is just a
else,
contest. This has not. This cannot be.
we can check out Suraj's game. So, although it's
Suraj.
just 10 moves and the position is kind of equal, it's in the opening, but his opponent has used 7 to 8 minutes already.
Ah,
hmm.
that's
Yeah, we have
So this
seen
game is
these,
already decided. There's no way can win from here. No way, absolutely. Let's check Suraj's game.
Suraj Kumar, Grandmaster.
Yeah.
okay,
The position is
aspiring
nice, but
grandmaster
I don't
series.
know why he has consumed so much of time.
Yeah, I
Look
think
at
this is
that.
a
Look at the
theoretical
clock.
question actually.
But Ronak, we have seen, these time crunches and the lower time advantage player sometime wins. We've seen in the previous games
Yeah, we have seen it
analyzed.
in my games
Yeah,
as well.
yeah,
Look
yeah.
at
Your
this
game
much
actually.
Yeah, your game also. It was a classic Queen's Gambit game, and I don't think there was much to take this much of time. Classic Queen's Gambit line. Nothing too fancy from White.
Yeah, what would I have played here? G3 bishop G2 or maybe long castle. But long castle, I'm actually afraid of knight B4.
No, no, no. Long castle is dangerous in these positions
I would have considered it actually
because
very
the
seriously.
black's knights can come in very easily. You don't have anything to stop them.
Okay, yeah, this is a problem as well.
Yeah, this is a problem. Long castle is very
Okay,
dangerous here.
knight C4. Knight C4 cannot be played because of the pin.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Well,
simply
I have an
pawn
idea
b5.
here. Let's say queen cross b7, then rook b8.
Okay. Yeah.
Rook b8 is the obvious move, and
Hmm.
then
no, no,
b4.
no, no. Queen b7 is a blunder.
Why so?
I don't know, but Queen b7 is showing as a mass blunder. It's showing as -4 advantage for black after
Yeah,
playing
it
Queen
may be, but
b7.
yeah, why? That is the question.
Let me see why it is.
Yeah,
What's the move
like
here?
-4 is just a number. We don't have that in a not thought process.
Oh, maybe because Rook b7 can be played after that, and
And
the
rook
Queen is
b7.
What
trapped.
after that? After what? Rook b7 after?
Yeah, then I would have played d4 or
Rook b7
something.
after Queen b7. Rook b8. Sorry, Rook b8
Rook
could have been
b8.
played, and the Queen was trapped.
No, no, I
Yeah,
thought of
queen
d4.
trap. Yeah.
Queen b7, rook b8, d4.
That's why it was a
Yeah.
blunder.
Because the black queen covers the c7 square, and then you will have
No, no,
no
I'm
square
saying
left.
that
Yeah,
queen b7, rook b8, then d4, attacking the queen.
then
Hmm.
b4 you say.
Yeah, I'm just trying to be tricky here because bishop e6 was an unpleasant move. It might be objectively wrong, but how easy it is to find out? Because if d4 knight cross, then I take the rook. If queen takes, then I exchange the queens.
Yeah.
And if queen goes somewhere, then I have squares to go to with my queen too.
Hmm. I mean, we should generally, avoid these pawn takes on b7.
Yeah, generally, but this is a very uncomfortable position for
No,
white.
see, Ronak, after Rook b8 and you say b4, the
Yeah,
Queen can go to a4, and your Queen just has one square there, and the Rook can go back and forth, and there's no escape for the Queen. Maybe you don't
yeah, it
lose the
can
Queen,
go.
but there is no escape. There's no clear escape for the Queen.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't need to escape as of yet because the now this is just lost.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Even
the
this
then it
is
would have been
completely
lost,
lost.
but yeah, this is lost too. So, uh,
Uh, and Queenside Castle would have lost it earlier.
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, exactly.
More quickly. A quicker
Every
victory
black
it
piece
would
is
have been
staring
the
at that
castle.
square actually.
I think White lagged in developing the king side first.
Yeah, I think at least his, giving so much time in the opening paid off somehow. But he has to
Yeah.
cover up. The distance is bridging though, but you have
Okay,
to,
they had an
you don't
advantage
want to fall
against
under a
White
black.
minute.
kind of allowed Black to come into his position and infiltrate. It was a standard
Yeah,
Queen's Gambit, and White had the opening. He started the opening, so he could have had some plans to mitigate these types of things.
Yeah, no,
Oh
rook c8.
man.
so
Rook
he,
c8. Rook c8 is obvious.
Yeah, obvious.
Yeah, rook c8 is obvious.
Let's see some other games. Elston is still trying to hang on in the end game. The queens have been traded, but it's still -3.5 for a rule.
Oh
Should we
yeah,
check
rook
again?
c. Not even rook c8 here. Bishop f5 is also obvious.
Should we
Yeah,
check
everything is there.
another game? What do you think? Which one?
Yeah, bishop f5. Yeah.
so I guess black is just going for the queen.
Black is saying like, I will take your queen first, then we can decide how we want to checkmate you.
It's an inevitable, for fork coming from the knight. You have to move your queen, and then there's a fork of queen and rook.
Yeah, 94 I
And
think loses 94 is mate, isn't it? Like 94 the knight d3 check. Is it mate?
94 night.
It's almost mate.
94.
Um, if
So
94,
it
then I
is
said knight d3 or knight c2 or something. Okay,
Wait.
now
check.
queen is gone.
Queen. Oh, he smothered his king. Oh, that's bad.
Yeah, there was actually nothing much better than that.
This game is over.
So should I switch?
He must be so frustrated, having
Oh,
a time lead. And then,
we can probably switch to Alston's game again. Dharya has won against Mortik,
Yeah.
else against Surge. And there's a life little endgame going on. Although Elston is down in advantage, but he has got some time advantage.
Oh, he got to the end game you were hoping for.
Yeah, just as I said, I was saying that they traded the queens and then he has. But Arul has played so solidly throughout this tournament, so dominantly,
oh,
winning all his games.
Yeah, this is actually easily winning. There are many plans like knight d4, then king f5, king g4, and then knight f5, and just take the g3 pawn.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, that it works. Yeah,
Just
he plays
simple.
knight d4.
Because there are no weaknesses on black's position. Even the b7
Yeah,
pawn is protected by the bishop every
yeah.
time. No, king f5, king g4. And so on.
And White can only try to delay the inevitable. He has not got any attack or any forks of any sort.
Yeah,
He
there
can
are no
just try to
weaknesses.
stop Black's advance. There's nothing he can do to prevent it.
Yeah.
Time plays definitely a factor here. Maybe.
Yeah, not really. It is very easy.
No,
Even if
no,
I had 10 seconds or something, I would have done this against anyone. Knight
no. In the
e2 and
previous
then knight.
tournaments, which was a blitz tournament, we definitely did see some, major blunders happening under time pressure. And even the top
Yeah,
players,
but
the grandmasters, make some mistakes. So
yeah, but this is 5 seconds
we
of
all
blitz.
know Ding's classic, that rook move which lost him the championship. It was in the time pressure. So yeah, let's see.
Yeah, knight e2. Yes, every move is obvious. Yeah, knight e2, then king g3. Like the position plays itself.
Yeah,
You can even allow the rook to take on e2 and stuff, like king g3, king h4, and the g6 and h5 pawn runs.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
that's
What he
this is.
did.
You can effectively win this by pre-moving. Just yeah, not literally
Ronak,
though. You cannot.
are we
Yeah,
sure that you did not secretly train with Arun? You guys are basically playing the same moves.
this is obvious. Any even Elston, if he was in this position as black, he would play the same thing. Any above 2000 player would understand. I think. Because this is like really obvious. There's nothing to play for. Yeah.
There's some ways to win this game by trolling your opponent or doing something like that, but he's going for the solid approach. So
Yeah,
yeah,
if
that's
you
what
try
he's
to
saying.
promote for four queens or something, then yeah, then you might allow stalemate or something. But yeah, he's taking all the pawns.
I think he might go for the four queens approach.
Yeah, that is very. What should I say? That is very cute. But yeah, it's not necessary. Yeah,
Oh, he resigns. Yeah, obviously the game was lost.
yeah. Animesh,
So
you're
yeah,
muted.
Okay, Divyanshu,
oh,
any more
sorry. I was
one?
saying something, but no worries.
Hey, are all the games finished
Let
so
me check.
soon?
all the major games of top boards are finished, I guess. Let me check on some players.
Major games. Yeah.
Some games did not started at the scheduled time, so I was not able to see them.
Okay, so like if you guys want to analyze any game, meanwhile, like we are
Yeah. Actually, let me try
Yes,
sharing
definitely
this.
try to
And then
analyze Alston game. Yeah.
share and you can
yeah. But
yeah
let's actually look at Mohut's game, shall we?
yeah sure.
How he
Yeah, yeah, sure,
lost
sure,
the
sure.
rook.
So you share the screen. We will prepare the results and pairing for the next round.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Is my screen visible?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So let's go to Mohut. This one. I don't want to look at the engine. Okay, let's.
Let's.
Yeah, am I audible? Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So Dharia is 2000
Hmm.
plus. I didn't know that actually. Okay. C5. Yeah, this is a very topical line nowadays. This A6 move.
Yeah,
It's
Is he
for B5
yeah.
early
preparing the
on.
B5? Yeah.
Yeah. G3, E6, B5. Oh, okay. What about this? Then just this, yeah. Okay. Anyway, we played knight G2, B4. Bishop B7.
Very
It
standard
looks
game
normal.
till now. Nothing too fancy. They're playing this. It may
Yeah,
look
here.
fancy to some sense, but it's general lines.
Yeah, this is not a single line, I think. H5 is fancy, no?
Where you a different kind of preparation.
Yeah, I
So
have
many
I
pawn
think getting
moves.
H5 in this.
inspired by Ding again.
So many pawn moves.
Oh,
Yeah,
wait,
I
wait,
didn't think.
just hold on. Why was Queen C7 played? I don't see the point here.
Yeah, this is actually a
I don't
very.
think it's the best move, you know?
No, this is
Just
not the
Yeah,
best
developing
move.
the knight to F6 would
Yeah,
have been better.
yeah.
I think this, I would have played this actually.
No, but
Yeah.
after Bishop
Okay.
trading the knight, it could create some messy positions in middle game and end game.
This
You
one?
would not want that. But you would definitely lose castling sides as right now.
Yeah, but I think
I
this is
don't.
better for black actually. This position. Am I correct? I should see that because I have been wrong before. Yeah, it's
The
equal.
C4.
engine
It's
likes
equal.
Yeah,
it actually.
Okay.
yeah, but I would like black here in this position because I don't need castling rice. I can just play bishop e7
Yeah,
and king f8 and
Oh yeah,
nobody can do
that's
anything.
yeah,
definitely better. That's definitely
Yeah,
better. Yeah.
because his e3 bishop is the culprit behind most attacks on the king side in structures, and if that is exchanged, then I am not afraid on the king side at all. So anyway,
Yeah, let's
that was
continue.
an option. But queen c7, I agree. Queen c7 is not
Yeah.
a point.
It's a decent move, but definitely not the best.
Yeah, the thing is, like in these kinds of structure, you play, let's say, like this. What
I
should
think Queen
this?
C7 is something which we see when you play English with white, this kind of setup with white. Then you play Queen on the C file. I think
Yeah,
with
no,
white it makes more sense when
yeah.
playing the English and stuff. Yeah.
In these kinds of structure, queen at last goes to c7 in most cases, but because it has no other square to go to, basically, because no other
mm,
square makes sense. But I wouldn't have made the decision so early. I would have made him work for it or something, I think.
Yeah. Let's see
So
what
getting
happens
there.
next. Let's move
Yeah.
forward a couple of
Let's
moves.
queen c7. C3, I would have played
Okay.
a5 without even thinking here, but he
yeah.
didn't.
Because, but he
Yeah.
didn't.
But this is also
Yeah,
decent.
A5 was the best move, definitely.
Yeah, but this is actually not decent. This is not decent because if he plays this
Yeah.
and we are forced to take with this and this gets opened.
Yeah, exactly. Let's
And
see
if you
what he played.
played this, then I could have taken with this and this
And this
file
is
was
actually a
closed.
better structure for black, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
What
Exactly.
happens after this exchange? Yeah, this is a very good structure for black. You have
Yeah.
got all the space in the world. Let's see what white
His
plays.
idea was to play knight g4, I guess. Let's see, rook c1.
Rook C.
Please play f5
No.
now. Please. No, he didn't. Okay.
He did not.
What?
Don't you
Okay,
think Rook
so
C1 was kind of an inaccuracy? He should have taken first.
yeah, he should have taken first.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But
he should have taken first.
if he asked his opponent and the opponent said, I'm going to play knight g4 no matter what, then rook
Yeah,
c1 is fine, I think. Yeah, because rook c1 is only bad because black gets the option of playing a5. I think so. I don't know.
yeah,
Yeah,
could be.
but yeah. Anyway,
But why does
yeah.
not he play A5 then? Now he takes, obviously.
Yeah, that is a very good question.
Now
I
he
do
was
not know the
just
answer to that at all.
screaming for to
He
be taken at
clearly made up
D4.
his mind to play knight g4.
How much time did it take? Let's see. He didn't take any time. You see,
Yeah,
9:33.
he made up his mind.
Yeah, yeah. He almost removed.
Okay, so
Yeah, but this is like just flashy. He thought the G3 pawn is weak. The G3 pawn is not weak because of this guy right here. If this was
If
not
that knight
here
was
or
not there,
somewhere else,
then yeah, it wouldn't
then
make
this makes
sense.
a lot of sense actually. He attacks on
Yeah.
the center and attacks there as well. But yeah, he just says, "I don't care. Do whatever you can." At that point, I have yeah,
Okay. Very flashes.
yeah, knight c6, yeah, knight c7. Yeah, nah, that is how he lost the rook. Oh, see, even this cannot be played because of this. Because this was. So he didn't just lose the exchange; he just lost the entire rook. Yeah. Okay.
Wow, and then he lost another fork.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and gets us to the position where, and this is just obvious. It's just beyond obvious.
Somewhere around here, we joined his game actually.
Yeah, what happened here? Actually, I said it was beyond obvious, but what is this? It was almost like he got away because bishop cross d3 is a check, basically. For example, like
Yeah.
let's say, um, what what should I do here? Wait. If the king was on anywhere else, I want to make that point in this position. If king was on a4, let's say, and he played knight d3,
Hmm.
if the king was somewhere else, then this would have been lost for white. Because bishop d3 runs into c cross that, and if he does not
Yeah.
take, then also. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So let's see Alston's game as well. My network is failing me. Let's
I can still
actually
see. I can
see
still
if
see you fine enough.
yeah, let's see if the engine agrees with us. Is Divyanshu still here? I cannot see the meet.
No,
Yes.
he.
Oh,
I
okay.
guess somehow he
Great.
disconnected.
Yeah, he got disconnected.
Yeah, but we have just I'm just putting in the results and the appearance. Yeah, in a few minutes, you guys can check out the game till then.
Okay.
Yeah, queen c7 was an inaccuracy, as Divyanshu was saying. c3. Knight f6 was an inaccuracy. And a5 was the best move
Yeah.
instead of knight g4.
You should have. You should have taken, and then yeah.
We should
So
have
many missed. It's either because the opening might be new for white, he, and black prepared something with not much he just saw an opening and thought, let's play this, it looks nice, and then didn't
yeah.
prepare it wholeheartedly.
Yeah, this is just dead lost.
True.
What is
Brilliant.
what is this brilliant?
I mean, giving a brilliant to an obvious move. Oh, I mean, okay, you're giving away the rook.
No, you're not digging another rook. You are
You know
taking the
you're going to have fork anyways, so
yeah.
somehow
Yeah, so
the engine, I don't
the engine is
understand the engine somehow.
very over appreciative. This is actually not the engine's fault. Like they set some thresholds in the algorithms that if it is kind of like this, then you put it in the brilliant category or something. The engine itself
Yeah,
doesn't have it.
it could be.
Yeah. Because the engines actually do not consider anything to be brilliant. Like
True.
we are nowhere close. Okay, this is a great move.
Great move again.
Yeah, yes, the peak of greatness somehow. Yeah. Okay, so let's look for this guy. Oh, he's playing again with someone. Let's see this.
Oh, second round has started, I guess.
No, no.
What? I'm playing in the second round, man. Don't. Don't scare me like that.
No,
Oh, okay. Sorry,
no,
sorry.
it's not started. It will start at 10th.
Okay.
Yeah, this actually disappoints me a lot. This move, like you play d4, you play c cross d4, you are destined to play c3. Yeah, you
Okay.
are foregoing your destiny. Yeah, because that is the whole point. That
Hmm.
is why people play knight f3 here, because
Yeah, to
after
play
to play knight takes. Yeah, because if you take with the queen, then you will get hit.
with the knight.
Yeah, like it is one of the first lessons you are taught. Like, do not bring your queen early and get chased around. Oh, and he
He
just came back.
simply,
So basically, black is playing as white now, effectively,
yeah,
in a way,
because he got
because
a move extra because of the, you know,
yeah, he got a move extra. He got to exchange a flank pawn for a center pawn,
yeah.
and yeah, he got
That's the, the whole idea for playing the Sicilian was so you cannot push the deep on early,
yeah.
and somehow he,
Even if you pull the deep pawn, you should do it under your terms.
yeah, under your terms, you should play the knight first and then trade the pawn, so you have
Yeah, that
something
is
there.
why
But
in this position, this is the main move.
yeah, giving away a pawn,
Yeah,
gambiting
this
a
is
pawn actually.
yeah, gambiting a pawn. This is called the Smith-Mora gambit.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
I've
have
heard of
lost a
it.
few games as black in this position. Actually, this is not easy at all. But anyway, let's stick to the game.
Okay, so
Okay, I would not have played d6. I would have played d6 to play bishop d4. This position somehow asks for that. But anyway, d6 is not bad. It is good as well.
okay,
Yeah,
so
he gets
he,
the dragon structure. He
yeah.
gets the favorable dragon structure.
It
Not
must
even
be
the
something he is comfortable in. He must have played the Sicilian Dragons, countless times. So he must be he must be so comfortable in the dragon position. So he somehow converts every position in that.
yeah. But if he's so experienced, I'm very disappointed by Queen C1 or Bishop G7 even. Like Knight G4. Come on. Yeah.
Knight G4 to go after the dark
Yeah.
squared bishop.
This is thematic in these kinds of positions. You
Okay.
almost always play this. Like this and then this, forking this and this.
Hmm.
And if he does not do anything, then just take. And this is just. I am sure this is just better for black. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just better for black. So, like, I'm actually not being too harsh because I think I know that he is a very good player. I
Yeah.
am, yeah, I'm disappointed by Bishop G7. He should have played Knight G4. It is the most thematic move in the position. Anyway, Queen C1 is a very weird move to
He wanted to
exchange.
play yeah, bishop h6.
Yeah, but it still runs into Knight G4. Let's see if he
True.
played it. Oh, yeah, he played it now. So, was he afraid of something here? Like, he played Bishop
He
G7
I think
first.
he wanted to have his king ready to castle somehow or something. He didn't
Yeah, but it
wanted to
is.
lose much time in the opening as well.
Yeah, he's
Didn't
not
want to.
losing time actually. He's gaining a
Yeah,
huge thing here. Like, this bishop is often the one who takes off this bishop and mates the opposing king in dragon positions. Let's see if I'm correct. Is this the best move?
Yeah, I've put in the results
yeah.
and the pairings.
Yeah, knight
See,
g4 is
knight
the
g4 is their best move. Yeah,
yeah knight g4 is top two. Both
top computer move actually.
top move and the second best move is also knight g4 somehow. There is
What's the
some reach
difference
here.
is the line seems similar. Yeah, the
Yeah,
I
bishop
think they
g5
the
and yeah,
it's identical somehow. I think it's a glitch or something.
yeah. Anyway, so knight g4 was I. This is very obvious. I don't even need the engine. Even he would agree. But yeah, now he
Yeah.
played knight g4. Bishop d2 is like this is. I have no words to express what this is, but yeah. Queen b6, knight h3. Okay, that is how he got this. But why? Why this? Why not something like this? He would have played this. Now this.
Okay. So what's the difference here?
He cannot play f4. Still difference.
Yeah, the pawn. Okay.
But he anyway cannot play f4 anyway. So okay, this I do not like either. Like taking d3.
Why do
Because
you think
this
he gave away his light squared bishop? Did he not, think it's a much of importance piece or something?
yeah, the light square bishop in this structure, in this specific position is just a pawn. It can never
Okay.
do anything. Absolutely anything.
Why?
Like
Because the way black played or something.
uh, what do you mean?
I mean, why it is just like a pawn? The way black played or something. That's why, or something else.
No, no, because where can this bishop go? It can go here where it does nothing and it cannot go anywhere else. Even if
Yeah,
it
I
goes
think it.
here, then it is just trading. It
Okay,
is
so
just
it.
protecting this pawn. You
Yeah.
can make an argument that it is stopping f5 somehow, but it is not really even stopping f5. I can just play f5 if I want to. Just this position is also good. I can play this at some point. Let's say this. What should I play? Let's say rook e1 and e5. This is good for black. He cannot mate. The black skin looks very unsafe, but it is extremely safe. You cannot attack it at all. You can just give a check and then
Check and then it
congratulations.
hides and
Yeah.
yeah, you gave a check. But then if bishop b3, then it's a comfortable bishop
Yeah,
sniping.
no.
Okay, okay. So
If you
so
want
you
to
wouldn't
take this,
let
you can
the
take
bishop
this.
rest anywhere.
Yeah, yeah. If you want to take this,
Okay,
you can take this anytime. So why take it then?
okay,
Just make him work for
okay.
it. Yeah. Anyway, it is still black's position is still better. Okay, knight. And now instead of having a bishop that is just a pawn, now he has a pawn that is just a pawn. So that is yeah, that is better for for white.
Right, yeah.
Slightly better. And let's see if whatever I said was absolutely wrong. Yeah, even f5 is one of the suggestions of Indians. Even knight take g3 is one of the suggestions, but it is f5 is the best one.
Yeah.
Okay.
You said that
My,
you can play it because the bishop is not really defending that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So my instincts are on fire today. Let's.
Yeah, well, that's a good thing for our commentary here.
Yeah, that's a good thing for me too because I'm playing the next round.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
You should be
Right.
sharp at this moment.
You are playing Rahul next round, Ranga.
Uh, wait a bit.
I will show the. Yeah. See, this is the pairing for the next round. And to our all.
Okay, I got it sorted. Okay, the next round is for 10, right?
Yeah, this is the pairing you play Rahul. Arul plays Dheera.
Okay. Okay, so at this point,
Hmm. And this is the standings.
Arul Anand with the most points here. 5
Five.
wins.
Yeah.
Nice.
yeah, I'm actually hoping that I will get to face him again because there are so many rounds and I want to have another chance.
You're in the last rounds.
But he shouldn't have exchanged the queens at all. Like
Where?
knight d4. He played queen g5.
Okay.
But
He simply wanted to simplify the position.
yeah, that is
Yeah,
the thing.
having
You
a.
have three pieces and then
Yeah.
exposed king of white. Why do you want to simplify the position? The position is complicated. It works in
Oh,
your
white
favor.
traded the queens.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I
If
thought
black
black
wanted to,
traded.
oh sorry, no,
Wanted.
I was talking about black.
Okay.
Yeah, if White wanted to trade the queens, I understand because Divyanshu said, yeah, that the Indians are often defensive,
Yeah.
and that is true.
Yeah.
Now he self-destructed. Basically, like this structure, what he did with this kingside pawns were self-destructive. I know it is not very easy to even suggest a move here because anyway the light square pawns are under fire from this guy. He can't do anything. Oh, even knight f4 is threatened. Yeah, knight f4 is a fork actually.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, you know what? This is a very, yeah, very. You see, this is very instructive. This is why, yeah, he is. See, he could have played knight f4 here, right?
Yeah.
But that would be a mistake. It
Why?
looks like it is a fork, but he can just play g3. And if you take, this is check and
Oh.
attacking the king.
But if he takes the h pawn, what then?
Yeah, you might have got got me there. Okay, no, let's see this. What? Let's say this.
Any
The
king.
knight still has an escape square.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So maybe this is okay now. Something like this. I don't know. Let's get the evaluation actually. Yeah, this is still losing. So anyway, though it was like an unnecessary precaution, but it is very instructive. Like in here, just due to this does not work. But this is a blunder.
If you overlook the discovery, you might, end up
Yeah,
losing.
that's why he said that I am anyway getting something. Just let's just get away from any trickery whatsoever.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah,
Divyanshu is having network problems, I guess.
Divyanshu.
Yeah, he's, joining
Yeah.
and then leaving.
Yeah, now this is very obvious. This was child's play.
Yes, sorry guys, I'm back. I had some little
No
network issues.
worries. No
Google
worries,
Meet
bro.
is facing issues related to audio. So we were looking at
Okay.
Alston's game, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, we were.
there were some very interesting moments. In here, I like White's position a lot. I would have definitely played f4 here if given the chance. Definitely this move. But I'm not sure that White is objectively better. No, he is objectively better. Okay. Is f4 the best move? Let's check that too.
I think Alston wanted to open up the king side to create an attack. Like I play Vienna mostly, so I like the idea of f4 in the opening, but I think it was too late now and the position was not suitable for that. f4 was not needed, I think here.
Yeah, but f4 is yeah, the second best move.
Yeah.
The
Queen
difference is
d2 is the
quite.
stack.
Yeah, Queen d2 is such a weird move. I would have never played it in my life. Like
Queen d2
very
just
Yeah,
small
to
chance.
connect the rooks, standard move. Nothing,
I would not even think of connecting the rook here. Like
Yeah,
no
it's
chance.
not.
all these moves, f4 looks, according to Angel, it's playable, it's drawish position. But if you look from a human perspective, you are really opening up your position for nothing. If you can't find the right follow, it may lead
Yeah.
to a disadvantage, which happened in the game. That
Did it?
overextension did create some weakness on right side.
If
Okay.
for this happens, I thought of this briefly, but maybe just thinking. And this pawn is weak. He doesn't have a dark squared bishop. This is coming. Knight d5 and queen c3 is coming.
Yeah, I
Okay.
guess now you will even play Queen D2 to, just double up the rooks in that
Yeah,
position.
no, no. Queen D2 is Queen D2. Queen D2. No,
We-
I
No, I
don't
was
think
asking
anyone.
you to take the pawn. Here it's no way possible. No person spots that.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Now he played F4. Now it is very bad actually because now Black is opening the position
Yeah,
on his
it
own
was not
terms.
needed there.
Because in this position, if you played F4, F5 is not possible. Not a good move.
Yeah,
It is
exactly.
possible. You
but
can just
it's
take if bishop takes.
But the capture sequence changes when F4 is played first and the F5 is played first, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that creates a lot of difference.
Here I would have done what? I would have kept the structure as it is and played rook c1. I think that is
Yeah, I
my.
guess also let Black take the pawn if he wants to, and just take D takes E4. That would
Yeah,
have been
yeah.
the
If
best, I
black
guess.
takes, yeah, I don't care at all because he takes c4. You're right. And if
Yeah,
he pushes this, I push this and say you have got nothing. You can never attack me in any way.
true.
yeah, and you don't even have dark square bishop to capitalize on that chain.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, it's good.
But now he played f4. It was okay. Now he didn't even capture. So there is still. Is there still time for something like this?
I I still think this was a bad move. I guess E takes F5 was not.
No, he didn't
I
didn't
would have
play e
played.
takes f5. Oh,
Oh,
So
Ronak.
he,
Okay,
No, no, no.
so we'll share the this is
Yeah,
pairing
let's see the standings now.
this is the pairing for the next round.
Okay, so
okay.
Arun will take on Dhairya Shah, who defeated Mohortik, I guess, in this round.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in the last
Yeah, he defeated
Uh,
Mohortik.
Rahul's match with Ronak.
Ronak.
Oh,
So
that will be a nice matchup.
third board will happen tomorrow.
I
UK.
am definitely excited to see Elston playing on on the game number 4 against Arumal. I think it.
Alston Narumal,
I
yeah.
think Elston will be able to get a win here.
yeah. Somehow
Harshit
I got
Bihani
a
and
network issue.
Shankar will definitely be a good game, although they have not won much. But I guess that will be a good game. Both are very good players and very solid players.
See, this is the standing.
Okay, I'm still on first position somehow. Like, yeah, I'm playing Rahul. You said.
Yeah, Rahul.
Yeah, Rahul Yadav. Yeah,
Okay, so I'm playing with someone with 4 points. That is good for me, actually, for my book also.
that's good.
Yeah, it starts in 5 minutes. So why am I in this meeting? okay, no, yeah.
I think
Bye, guys. I will.
you
Yeah,
well, good luck.
yeah. Thanks.
Yeah, best of luck. Okay, now I guess it's the two of us.
Yeah.
Okay, so Animesh, can you start the screen share?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, you start sharing the screen because I'm really having some network issues today.
Yeah.
I will be.
So you just give me the game links. I can
Yeah, sure.
then present it.
I will just give you the usernames. You can just check. You
Okay.
have it.
Uh, what we
Oh,
can do, you share your screen and we can show one of the games which is going on. And in the background, I will keep checking other
Yes,
games as well. So
sure, sure,
whichever is
sure.
going interesting, we can switch to that.
okay, okay. So
I will just send.
Yeah, let me go to those IDs.
Animesh check WhatsApp.
yeah.
Guys, we will be starting with our next round at 10. Yeah.
Okay. So everyone,
So
that
we have
was the
time
round
to set up.
5.
Hmm. Okay. So whose match do we want to, keep on the screen share?
I guess we should start definitely with the board one. Arul has been playing phenomenally. And in
Thank you.
background, I will keep checking the games of Ronak, Elston, and a
Rahul.
few others. So we can definitely switch whichever game is going good, because there will be surely some games will quickly play the opening. The middle game will be an exchange. So those games we can probably skip if
Yeah,
it's come down to like that.
Okay,
We
so
definitely
Arul's
want to
game
see
you said,
some
right?
intense middle game action. That
Yeah,
I. Mm,
that would be exciting to comment on as well.
yeah. It also gives us time as a commentator say something about the games, because when you are just exchanging
Yeah,
everything, what we can even say.
true. Well, if it's an interesting position, we could also give our insight on what do we think about it, or what we would have
Yeah,
played at that
exactly,
position.
exactly.
Okay, wait.
okay, so
Uh,
yeah, Nimesh, start with screen share. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
all
please
right.
start.
I'm doing it. I'm just searching their names.
Uh, yeah, put on rules games first. I'll
I,
open the others in the background if I can.
yeah, this is the I will put on the pairing still then.
Okay. Okay, so I got his ID. Okay, wait. I'm presenting the screen now. Okay, so is the screen visible?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Check Ganesh. I've
So I
also opened Ronak, Alston, and let me
he
check the other.
isn't playing yet. It starts on 10, right?
Yeah, just 2 minutes to go.
Okay.
So Dikshit Sharma is playing Pranav Deepak. Partly, we can also probably look at that team.
That no, that game is like postponed tomorrow
Okay,
due to
that game.
yeah
So we can
understanding. Yeah,
probably keep say Morthik's game, and I don't know, but I'm thinking that Harshit versus Shankar is going to be a good game. Both are good players around the same level, and they play really well.
yeah, that will be interesting game to check out.
Yeah, I'll just keep that in the background. This tournament has been phenomenal so far. Players have been playing really good chess, but the way Arul
True.
has dominated against all these high-rated players like Ronak and Elston, it is just unreal.
Hmm.
Very true.
Okay, so I guess you can start. Oh no, it's not start. Yeah,
Yeah, it hasn't started yet. It can start at any moment, I guess.
yeah.
Yeah. Um,
So, which pieces has he got Arul?
Hmm?
Black or white?
This
Arul has
uh,
white pieces, I guess, this time, because last game he was black.
yeah, white pieces,
Yeah.
and here
It
will
will be interesting to see his opening twice.
yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
I have not watched many of Arul's game. I think he did not play this tournament. But based on the 2 3 games I've seen there, he definitely seems the kind of player who likes to take the game into complex middle games and then win it from there. He does not rely on
Okay.
opening tactics that much, I guess. Just keeps it solid, keeps it simple.
Hmm.
No game started till now.
Arul has won his previous game with a 93% accuracy.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was the game
That's
we
why
Alston.
that
Yeah.
yeah we
against
Ronak and us
someone.
were you know analyzing. A good game lasting 70 moves, 69, 70 moves.
I guess all those blitz losses
Yeah,
woke
see,
something in up in him. He's like, I'm gonna cook now after losing in blitz 4 5 games in a row.
he's playing some good players as well. I am. He's
Yeah,
playing some
obviously, even
rated.
yeah, 1500, 1700s, IMs and FMs. That's really wild.
Yes, 2700 blitz rated player. That's unreal. Seeing such a rating. Nearly double of mine.
Hmm. Maybe check Ronak's game if it started.
Okay, let me see. No, it hasn't started yet.
Okay.
My God, so many interests. People being polymaths here.
Mm,
Oh, I think his game has started.
yeah.
Let's see. So we have Ronak's game here. That's not Ronak, that's my. Okay. Okay, so Daddy's back and Ronak here.
Yeah.
Okay, so Rahul and Ronak. Oh, so it's Indian game.
Yeah.
Hmm. Okay, so Black has blundered in the opening. Yeah, very. That was a good move. You have to move the queen. Okay, so it was a big mess up. Okay, so you shouldn't have traded the pawn there. What was the best move in that position?
Narel's game has also started.
Okay, Carol's game has also started. Okay, so let me just put both
Yeah.
of their moves. I think Ronak must be happy, but he somehow lost his
Yeah.
advantage. Why did he lose his advantage?
Mm,
Well, let's see.
yeah.
After he comes back from his match, we could,
Yeah.
analyze his game.
And analyze. Yeah.
He's still having a 1.5 advantage, which is, which is a really dream position.
For white. Yeah.
Uh,
Well,
how could Ronak, mess up? Okay, he messed up his opening again.
again. So what you feel for Black and Donut?
I mean, Black is, obviously trying to reach the king on the queen
Hmm.
side castle, the white king,
Hmm.
and
That
I
queenside
don't even
castle
see
move
that
from
at
white is
all.
a very daring approach.
Yeah, white is quite comfortable here, but let's see. I think
Yeah,
Ronak is trying to find some. attack on the king, but the king is looking quite safe. It would be interesting to see, if Ronak comes back, we could analyze his game and see where he
Uh,
messed up in the opening.
yeah, I still think this position, yeah, the engine is also showing the position is better for white. I think one of the
Yeah.
nuances of queenside castle is that yes, you definitely weaken up your king, but if you have
Yeah.
grabbed that space already, then
Hmm.
it can become a greater advantage for you. If you go for an
True.
early queenside castle, then it turns out to
Yeah.
be disadvantage what we saw in the last game when we were analyzing.
Yeah.
You know,
True.
in a close position, it's not that favorable, but when you have developed your pieces, when you have opened up the position a little, and then you explore the option of queenside castle, it can be very aggressive and it can be very frustrating to sometimes deal with because
Hmm.
black has not got the c pawn. It will be very hard to attack white's king without it.
True.
Also, I think Arul is playing a standard Catalan opening, Queen's Indian Catalan, Fian Chateau Catalan. The game is going very equal between Arul and Dhara. 15 moves in. So while Ronak is thinking, can we just quickly switch to Arul's game? We can see it.
Yeah, I'm just doing that.
Yeah,
Searching
yeah,
his name up, and
yeah, definitely, definitely. Oh, he missed some action there. So Arul's
where in
opponent,
the in Arul's game?
yeah, Arul's opponent blundered a little there. Yeah, the position is not good now.
Okay, we could
Yeah,
see.
just take it 2-3 moves back. Just take it 2-3 moves back, and you will see what
Okay,
actually
okay, okay,
happened.
okay.
Take it to move number 13, I will say. 15, 15, 15. Till 15th, it was equal. Yeah.
Yeah,
So it was a
it
very
is showing
classic
equal.
Fiancha 2 and a very classic defense from Black, nothing too fancy. And here I think Black kind of overextended and White tried to break that pawn structure because at the end of the day, it was benefiting White. So just play through it, and you will see. This is
Okay,
where
so
this
here.
was a mistake because now you see
Uh,
after all the exchange, there will be there will be a standard pawn. Just push forward, play out the moves. Yeah, these are all natural moves. No one even needs to think. Yeah,
so we
and then queen
yeah,
g4, queen g4. You cannot. It's very difficult for black to maintain this position now.
yeah. That pawn you cannot really defend that pawn. Just a queen.
No. Oh, but then you
Okay,
give
so
up that.
here, yeah, here. Why? What is the why it is showing such an advantage for white? Can you tell?
Because the e4 pawn can be taken first of all. Uh,
Okay.
and then after you move the d pawn, the queen and the bishop's diagonal are matching up very perfectly. Also,
Yeah,
one more thing you should notice that black is kind of forced to take the f rook.
yeah, true.
It,
You cannot
it is
just
kind of
move it away.
forced. Yeah, you cannot move it away. And if you try to move it away, there are some ideas after queen is controlling the light squares. So I definitely think that black has to trade his f rooks here. And after trading those rooks, it's a very, very favorable position for white. All the pieces are active.
True,
The
true,
queen is
true.
sitting in a corner just defending. And what? Just a tiny little pawn.
Yeah, true, true. That battery is looking very dangerous for black, and you have to defend it quite well.
I think what we were looking for a nice Mohortik is, by the way, dominating his game very nicely. Just 23 moves in, and he's got a +6 advantage. So he's up a queen. His opponent rendered.
Okay.
The game, I think Alston's game is going on pretty nicely. A very good strategic middle game. It's drawish right now, 20 moves. So That's probably the most balanced game going on this round because all other games are Ronak is being dominated by his opponent, Arul is dominating Dharya, and Muhartik is dominated his opponent. So yeah, that's how it is. Can you switch to Alston's game? We will definitely want to show
Okay,
that
okay,
game because
okay,
both the players are playing so good.
okay. So let me just put his game.
Um, could you switch to Alston's game?
No, I'm searching for it. Wait.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. See, now you have to trade one of these routes here. There's no other option. You have to trade some way or the other.
True, true.
This is a
I think the
total.
F rooks are going to be traded. Maybe. Or the D file rooks.
I guess if I was in Black's position trying to play defensive, I would have. Since I now have the option of trading D rooks, I would have traded D rooks because, with the dark squared bishop and that F square F rook, and also the E3 pawn is weak on the white side. I think that's the only weakness. I would have tried to exploit that somehow if my opponent made a mistake. So I'd like to keep the F rook.
Hmm.
Yeah. Did you find it?
Yeah, I did, but uh, it is opening. It is taking a little bit time.
Yeah, the game. It's 22 moves and the game is still in an equal position. It's completely 0.0. It's going down the gate game. Oh,
Okay, so it's here.
that's just
Share
giving a
this
free
tab
pawn,
because
right?
I think you can see it now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We can see it now. Yeah, just roll
Oh,
back a couple of
yeah.
moves so we can see what was happening. So we can get an idea what
Okay, okay,
just a few moves.
okay, okay. Wait. Uh,
Yeah,
around
it's
here.
from here. It's fine. From rook e7, it's fine. Yeah. So, looking at this position, white definitely looks like the position is weak. The king is overexposed, but the seventh heaven for
Yeah,
rook, and I think those little pieces which you will think are otherwise cornered, the bishop, the knight, they are coordinated very well. Even though
yeah.
they do not get much space, but they are coordinated very well. The knight has some really nice squares to go afterwards. So just progress what happened. So rook e8
Okay.
is played. Obviously, you want to kick that rook on seventh file, but you don't want to trade. Yeah,
True.
rook c7.
You actually like your rook on the seventh file, so you don't want
Yeah,
to trade
seventh
it
file.
away.
Yeah, you don't want to trade it. He wants to keep it.
Yeah.
And this is going a very balanced game. No players making an accuracy or mistake. Really nice to see.
So black has a slight
Okay.
advantage here. Okay,
Okay, I
so
have an
black gave
update.
away his
Alston
advantage.
has resigned. Sorry, Ronak has resigned in his game. In 35 on the
Yeah,
35th move, Ronak has lost.
he resigned his game. I think he was, losing from the opening as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can see he resigned.
Oh. Ooh,
Somewhere around.
ooh, ooh.
Okay, it was mate in
No,
one.
just go back. Just go back to the game we were watching. It's going good.
Okay,
It's
okay.
going good. Alston made a mistake. Alston made a mistake. Just go to that game.
C5.
Sorry.
Okay, so Alston made a mistake, or who? Yeah, I think
Yeah.
Alston made a mistake.
Yeah. Knight
This
c5 was a bad move. Can you find the correct move here? I think it should be after knight
okay.
c5
So
you play.
the knight was very good at that position.
Yeah,
You cannot
exactly.
trade. You
Even if the
don't
bishop
need to
had
move the
traded, you
knight.
would have gotten a very nice pawn chain. So
Yeah,
it was not hurting you in any way.
I think
So
moving the
Arun is
knight,
one. Yeah, yeah.
moving the knight is not a good move. That's why it just plummeted the advantage here.
But
Uh,
our advantage to plus 2.5 definitely makes some mistake, not just an inaccuracy.
true,
I'm
true, true.
trying to find the right move here. What could it be? Um, um,
Which move
um.
would have been better for black instead of knight c5? That is what we are trying to find, right?
Yeah, which move would have been better for white, and what's the best move for white here now?
Okay.
I think,
What about queen? No, you cannot play the queen. Your
no,
bishop
no,
is
no.
hanging actually. So he
Oh,
wanted to attack the bishop and the rook at the same time.
yeah.
That's what he wanted, but white has to Oh, he okay. All right.
Just scroll your screen a little. I'm not able to see black's time. Because see, white is down. Oh, 10
It's
minutes
oh,
against 45 seconds.
that's
And you just lost your advantage there also.
the
Damn.
this was the time pressure we were talking about. You
Yeah, this
sacrifice
was
your
the time
rook.
push.
Sacrifice your rook. You thought something must be there if you cannot find it.
Yeah. And he just took too much time on. It just has been 25 moves. He just took too much time. I think that's also the pressure of playing a player who is very, very highly rated than you. Sometimes, if you're playing a very highly rated player, you
Yeah, you
think
overthink
twice,
the
you
game.
think thrice. Yeah, you overthink the game. You doubt yourself. Am I really winning? Is
Yeah, true.
there a really good move here?
You even
And that
overlook
what
Uh,
happening
sometimes
to
that.
players here now.
Yeah.
Arjun versus Blood Matrix. Maybe
Okay.
check. That's also going on.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
Mortik also won his game.
Oh,
Yeah.
he.
Yeah, and
Okay.
Jag and Arul has a definitive +8 advantage. Yeah, Arul
Oh,
also
so
won his game.
white.
Dharya resigned.
Dharya resigned. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Just checking his game. So Dharya resigned on the 30th move.
yeah.
A4.
You know,
I think.
for rapid games, don't you think they are getting finished too quickly?
Yeah.
With
True.
30 moves in a rapid game, I think it's kind of low.
Yeah.
Because look at this game. If you just removes Byte's time disadvantage, if it has been 4.5 minutes instead of 45 seconds, this was going such a nice game, and it will definitely go to some 50-55 move unless one of them blunders.
True.
I think players are
How many
rushing a
points?
lot. I am Arjun the same. Okay, I just wait.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, we can come back to this game later, but
Wait, I'm putting
as
his
to
game now.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Okay, so I can see his match. Wait, let me just share this tab
yeah,
instead.
sure, sure, sure. Oh, it is a very nice game. Just
Yeah, that's
a
why.
very nice, well-positioned end game, bishop end game.
Yeah, true.
It should be a no, no, but you can see there's Arjun has got half the time opposed to what his opponent
Yeah,
has
so
got.
you
And
need
that
the
can
time
definitely
in the
play a
end
role.
game because you can easily blunder in the end game.
Yeah, and also bishop end games are very tricky. Bishops and knight end games are tricky in my opinion
True, true.
because
You
one wrong
really
move.
need to, yeah, you have to choose the right square for the bishops and knights.
Yeah, For rook, it is kind of straightforward, but for bishop, it is
Yeah.
very, very difficult to pick the right move. Oh no! See what?
He shouldn't have pushed. He should have taken,
Yeah,
I guess.
this is the time pressure what we're talking about.
True. Blood Matrix here have quite a good time advantage, so he can think. Sushant, Blood Matrix, as his
Yeah,
allies.
Sushant can think, but again, bishop end games are tricky, and it is definitely hard to find the right move in a plus.
Okay, so
Yeah,
yeah,
see this
see
point.
he
It's very hard to find the best move in a plus one position, to minus one position.
plus you
So
don't
this
have
is
the eval bar, in the game. You don't know whether the opponent, made a mistake or
yeah,
something.
exactly. What you
The
would have done? According to the rules of chess, if it is en passant, you should take it. I think I should have taken that.
you're
That
just
would have.
forced to take the game. You're just forced to.
Yeah, it's the culture, bro. You have to take en passant.
Yeah, yeah.
Now you will get a draw. Chess gods will deny your destiny now.
Uh, yeah. Okay, so he has.
Oh, oh,
Okay,
that's
so
a huge blunder.
you shouldn't
That's
have
a
pushed
huge
the
blunder.
you just advance the king too far, and now the pawn gets
Not
away.
just the advancement of the king, your bishop is also blocked. It will
So
take
your
a
bishop
couple of
is
moves to set it free, and in the meantime, that
yeah. The
pawn
pawn
would
will
have
promote.
gone too far. No. This is one of those games which we will definitely have to because you see, it's a over 50, it's
Yeah.
such a nice end game going on.
You see that's what I was talking about. That sometimes the time advantage gets over you. You have more time, so you just try to play even quickly, so that the lower time
Yeah,
advantage person gets overwhelmed, and then they say that opponent is playing quickly, and I have already down some time.
yeah, exactly. But that works at the lower level. I think you can just if I was
Sacrifice
there, I
your
can just sack the bishop here.
yeah. You have
We can
you're
sack the
just
bishop.
two
Right?
two squares away from promotion.
Yeah, I think that was
Yeah,
yeah.
he
Just sack
yeah.
the bishop and you win the game.
Just don't get
Oh,
into any complications. Uh, okay, so if we check,
oh,
okay, so as Alston's game is also going on, and Alston is obviously winning because of the time
oh, no,
advantage
no,
as
no,
well.
wait. Just 2 moves ago, the game was a dead draw. And just on this move, by playing Rook D1, his
Yeah,
opponent blundered. And he has got just 11 seconds on the clock.
yeah. Time pressure is big thing.
Time pressure is a big thing, but you have to applaud that guy, a 1400 rated player playing against a 2000 rated player. And
True,
he
very true,
played a very good opening. He played a very good middle game.
true.
Let's just see what happens. Can you switch back to that game? Once that's over, we can come back to analyze this one definitely. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean this one's is pretty much. I mean Arjun's game, it's pretty much
Arjun's game is,
over.
I guess, that game was a classic of how a longer time format chess game should be played. You've got a good opening, you
True.
play a little of tussle here and there in the middle game, and
Yeah.
then there's a really complex end game, and one of you just misses that one move which costs you the entire game. So that's really, really good to see as a chess player. And all the big guns, Mohortik and
Oh,
Arul definitely
Alston
won the game.
blundered. Alston blundered.
Yeah.
But you
Oh,
really have so less time to think about it. But somehow he
oh, he
managed to
played
think
the
about
move.
it.
He played the move.
He played the move. I
Played the
think.
best move.
Okay, so
What's the move here now? I guess it should be.
King G7 should be the move, I guess. But
No, I don't think so.
what else? It's simply
King
mate if you do
G7.
not defend the H6 pawn.
But how do you defend after King G7 and Queen to E7 check?
King G7. Okay, so you
Oh, he
take.
takes.
But it's
I would
still.
have taken the. You know,
Okay, now. Okay. Okay, the queen was
oh,
hanging. That's why.
but if he had protected the queen, he would have gotten mated.
Wow. Such
And
turn of events.
Yes, such turn of event. And see, Elston made that one blunder, but after that, he has played the exact order of move which was required to save the game. If he
True.
had
I
to
mean,
played
even
one
such a
move
time to
differently,
time.
the
Okay,
game
it's
was lost right there.
true. Oh, he should
Okay.
not give. Okay, nice. It was
Yeah.
mindful of him to not give the, F6 check.
Arjun has won his game, I think.
Who? Yeah,
Arjun,
okay.
yeah.
Arjun was clearly winning and he
Hmm.
won his game, obviously. But this
Yes,
game, I
Arjun,
mean,
Arul, Mohortik, uh, all of the big guys have won their games, and this game is going absolutely bonkers. I would have
yeah,
never
true.
expected such a game when White was down to 11 seconds and Alston just blunders out of nowhere. Oh,
Yeah.
3 seconds, 3 seconds.
One second.
Play
Okay.
something,
Oh
anything. Oh
no!
no!
You cannot take the rook. Oh god.
Oh
Just time.
god.
It's just time pressure.
It's,
Really
I
good
guess,
game. A really good game.
really good game. It's just time pressure.
Just
You know
if
what the best,
yeah.
the best move there was just to play Queen G2, King G2, sorry, I guess. Yeah, King G2
Yeah,
was
King
fine
G2.
there. King G2 was,
He just simply panicked.
but we can see another blunder from Alston as well. We cannot rule out. See.
See,
Oh,
he did.
he again made a mistake. And Alston has plenty of time. Why is he? I think he's getting panicked
Oh,
by
he
those
blundered
people.
again. Oh
Oh
god.
no!
The connected passman.
Oh
Oh,
no!
The bar is going crazy.
yeah.
This is the
The eval
craziest
bar
game
is
of this
going
tournament
crazy.
by far. Oh
Oh,
no! The Eval bar is literally
oh,
dancing
it's
here.
M. It's
Literally.
M on board. Let's see. I mean, it's quite impossible to find
No,
What?
no,
within
but now he has
seconds.
30 seconds. The increment really played for him now.
Yeah.
Yeah, 5 seconds increment.
But
It's never quite over, The 5 second increment is really, if you know the right move at the right time.
no, we have
Okay, so
seen
you just
players with
simply
2 seconds.
push the e pawn, push the
Yeah,
e pawn and
just
promote,
push the
push the
problem. But yes, what a wild game. He had just 1 second on the clock
wow,
when he blundered his queen. And after that,
wow.
Alston blunders and
Don't
there's
blunder
this
back.
one.
Just don't blunder back,
Yeah,
please.
just don't
Oh,
blunder back.
give queen c6 check somehow,
No, no,
but you
I
can. Oh, what a
yeah,
nice move.
that was better.
Mate
Yeah,
in
I was
one.
thinking the
It's the
same
mate
thing.
in one.
Yeah, it's made in one.
Wow.
Wow, that was such a
Oh,
wild game.
damn.
That was such a wild game. He really held his nerves. 3 seconds down, 8 seconds down on the
Wow.
clock, and he
What
was
a game.
playing out the best moves against a 2000 rating player. That was absolutely wild.
Very good. What a game.
Uh, Anirudh, can you just confirm for us like all the games of this rounds are over, right?
Yes, all the games are over.
So yeah, we definitely want to review some games.
Sure.
So
True.
Animesh,
First, honest game.
Let's start with this one. Roll it back to the first move.
Yeah, one second. I just wanted to, confirm. Okay, so see, it's not just that his rapid raising is lower. His blitz rating is also low. It's not that he's a high rated blitz player. So
Yeah,
it's a
exactly.
clearly it's a clearly really good match.
This
And
is what you call an upset in sports terms, a literal
upset,
upset
yeah.
which no one would have expected.
We were quite convinced, that the time advantage is so low for
Yeah, and
uh,
players like Elston, Ronak, Arul, these guys don't make mistakes even when they're down to 10, 15 seconds. And Alston
true,
had, I cannot calculate how many hundreds of seconds times more than his
true.
opponent, and he's still not just one, two or three blunders on the trot in the end game. Just roll it back to the first move. We definitely want to see what was played out there.
Okay, so it's simply as you said, Queen's Gambit declined.
Yeah, no, it's yeah, Queen's Gambit.
Declined, but the move order is slightly.
Yeah, yeah, it's
No, it's not.
standard.
It is a Queen's Gambit declined standard.
Yeah, just roll it a couple of moves. Yeah, just standard moves. They were
Yeah, not
what
trading
now?
the.
G5? Oh, C6. Okay. Yeah, trying to solidify a position. Okay, they have played
Very.
whatever you would play
Yeah,
in these
trading
games.
the
Yeah, trade
bishop.
out the with that bishop, bring the knight out
Yeah.
there.
Okay,
Just
so
just hold it here. Just hold it here.
yeah, yeah,
I personally, in this position, will not play knight g5 so quickly. Like I know, the bishop is attacking the knight. I would
yeah,
have played probably knight f6 just because I don't want to give up a knight in an exchange on the king side. You wanted to
yeah,
prevent the knight bishop exchange, but now you are tempting him for a knight knight exchange, which I don't think is much so much good for you. White just castles and his position is solid, and I think that's
yeah.
also the reason computer is showing a plus one advantage to white
True.
because that
But
trade benefits
yeah,
white greatly. The queen
mm,
also activates, right?
yeah, true. But I also think that White wouldn't really want to trade his bishop for that knight, would
No,
he?
why wouldn't he? See,
I mean,
just look at how the pieces are placed.
okay.
Black's only active piece which can attack white structure is its knight. The other
Yeah,
knight is
true,
blocked. The other bishop is blocked.
true,
So
very
if
true.
I am my both knights are active as white, so why wouldn't
Mm.
I trade one of my pieces for his only active piece? Even his queen
True,
is
very
not
true,
active.
true.
So yeah, just
And the queens cannot do the damage on their own. They have to be
yeah,
supported
there
by the
needs to be
pieces.
coordination.
Yeah.
Knight f6 was probably the better move here, I guess. Okay, let's see how it went. Oh,
Okay, so he didn't take back, which
he
is a
did
good
not.
move. Oh, it's not a
No,
good move.
it's not good.
It's
You have to take, no? That
Yeah, you have to take.
that
Actually,
trade
he
was
didn't
advantageous for
even
you.
thought of trading his knight for his bishop, and in the first place, that why if he had to, he would have taken the knight on g5.
Yeah, just let me roll it here. So if he had taken and
Okay.
queen takes, oh, then you castle, and then you play something like knight to d7, and then f4 comes. Yeah, it was a very
Mm.
good position for white.
Okay.
Yeah, just
So if
yeah,
it's yeah, you said
yeah.
this
If
right?
it takes, then black takes, white castles because that's the only move I guess here.
Yes,
And you play
and then
something like knight to d7 because you have to
yeah,
get the knight out, and then
and then
f4,
you
and it's such a good position for white.
true, very true.
Yeah,
It looks really good.
yeah, it looks really good. The computer agrees with that. Yeah, let's go
Yeah.
back to the original game. Yeah, just let's go back to the original line. Yeah, what happened next? So
Why the
obviously knight
color aren't
d7.
changing? Wait a second. The color isn't changing. It's just showing like that. Okay. Leave it like that. Okay.
You
So here,
can turn off the lines, I guess. Turn off that lines button.
it's not
No.
showing. Wait, it's
Okay, no problem, no problem. We can
yeah.
analyze like this. Okay, no problem there. Okay, now he plays f5. Again, I
Okay.
think when your pieces are not synced properly, you should not go for aggressive approaches like this.
True.
That bishop is still your problem. Let's roll it forward. So he takes on d5.
Okay.
Oh,
So
would
taking
you like?
wasn't a really good idea, I guess.
Hmm. White
Oh,
till now, you should you have to commend the player playing white because he has kept his structure really solid. He's
yeah.
holding his nerves really well. He
Yeah.
knows he's opening really, really well,
Yeah.
not giving any sort of advantage to Elston. That okay, let's roll it further. So it was 95. Yes,
Okay.
of course.
But
I
you
don't particularly
simply
like
lose
the
a
move. I don't
you
particularly like
simply
the
lose
move
a
because
pawn here,
after
right?
trades, you lose a pawn, but it's not that big of a big because you cannot take the pawn. F4. It was a fork.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, right.
F4 was a
It
fork. You
just
cannot take the pawn.
you just
But still,
wanted
this
to,
position is better.
yeah, he gets the connect four if he trades the knight. He
Okay,
wouldn't
this
trade
is
the knight,
fine. These are
obviously.
these are fine moves. I don't see the point in that. Exactly, that was just giving away a free pawn.
He could have been either mouse slipped, I guess. Would have wanted to play b3 and mouse
No, no,
slipped to b4. Could be.
I yeah, could be possible, but does not
Okay,
look like
so
it when he had taken so much time on the move. After taking
see,
time, if you mouse flip, then
even taking that pawn is not good for black.
because rook can be played, no? Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
it can be
true.
played back. So for first, obviously, first we have to play this.
You can
Oh,
rook.
what CD? No, no, no,
I
just
don't think the
hold.
rook can be played here because
No, no,
the
no.
knight is
First, you have to
hanging.
take the knight back, right? First,
Yeah,
taking the knight back, after that rook. That's what I was
yeah.
saying.
Hmm.
So just take what happened next. There was no need.
You don't want to take it because that pawn's
No,
this is looking really good.
GG.
Or
E, E2 is the only move. Knight E2 is the only move. Continue.
okay, so not even taking. Okay, this move is good.
Yeah, this is better.
Oh,
Because you're
nice.
opening up your own bishop, right? Black's own bishop is
True,
opening up.
true. Yeah, that this bishop
Just,
gets alive
just
suddenly.
go to the original line. I want to see the queen B2 move. Just
I
go to the
don't think
original
so.
line.
I don't think so. I can give you the lines here because
No, no, no,
see.
no, no. Just go back to the original move, what was being
Oh,
played.
okay,
The
okay.
original move, original move.
Wait.
After
Where were?
we were knight to e2.
Oh yeah, he were
After
here.
this,
Yeah,
after this, yeah. The move that was played was queen b2.
yeah. Queen b2 was played. Yeah,
Yeah, I don't understand the point of this move. I think it's
yeah,
kind of overextended into the position and it's not
yeah. The
required.
Indian agrees as well. The black position was good at this point, and suddenly at b2.
Yeah.
What was the point of b2? After what like this? Oh no,
I
it's not a
think
good move.
I think that's also a strategy. If you should look at the time. Alston has got 10 minutes. The other guy has got 6 minutes. You know.
Yeah, I guess Alston would now would
So
never
I think it was more
underestimate
of
the
a
lower time
mind game
advantage.
here, confusing your opponent playing something like this. So your opponent was thinking, oh, maybe he has some strategy because that knight has an outpost. Maybe the
Yeah,
bishop can open up. Is there some underlying trick to it? And you try to confuse the opponent who is much lower rated than you and has got
yeah,
lower time than you. So I think it was more of that because Alston is a good enough player to know that maybe you should try to push the pawns on the queen side, not the queen himself itself, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
true.
just roll it further now.
Okay, so
Yeah,
the pawn
obviously.
is hanging, but he's oh sorry, here and then here, right? Okay, so he
Yeah, that
took the
one.
pawn there.
And
Okay, so it's
that's where we started watching that
yeah,
rook on the
that's where we
same
started.
file.
Yeah.
That's when I
So
said that white
we
pieces are
actually
not useful.
missed some inaccuracies in the opening, and we thought the game was going pretty balanced. But if we started watching from the start, we would have known that Alston made some quick inaccuracies here.
I don't think you will call them inaccuracies. See, because there is a difference in how the computer thinks and how a human mind thinks.
Yeah, true.
And you have
Yes.
to account for the fact that small minor moves which gives a +1 -1 advantage.
Hmm.
Maybe the computers, maybe the super grandmasters, maybe Magnus and Gukesh would be able to, you know, utilize them in some way or
Yeah,
the other. But as a normal human, you cannot see the point of those moves which are giving you a
true.
tiny bit of advantage.
Yeah,
It's
you
always
don't
playing
even
for a
know that
grand
you
scheme of
you have
things.
the advantage at that point.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So just roll it further. We want to see how they got
Rook
into that
FB8.
ending.
Yeah, Rook FB8, and then we played this move. We saw this move actually, and then we
Yeah, we started watching
kind
from
of
here. Like,
yeah.
so we can speed run through here, like
We
few
could
moves. We can just
see
roll it.
white is
This was the defining move after this.
yeah, true. I mean,
After
Alston
now
didn't
he
even
played
play
no
like
no
his
not
rating
this
at
not
this
this
point.
one move further. Knight c5.
Yeah, this move.
After this, bro. This is knight d4, knight c5. Yeah,
Yeah.
knight
This move.
c5. This was the this was Okay.
it looks very logical from the black's perspective that you are attacking the bishop and the rook together, and it's really difficult, to defend here.
It's really difficult to defend, but what can white play? That's
He
what I'm.
see he here he thought for so long.
Yeah, he
He
had
thought for
three
so
minutes
long
and
and thought wrong actually.
yeah, I still don't see what was the point of that rook sacrifice. Maybe you were
But
trying to go for the knight takes with check. I no, that's not yeah, knight takes
that
with check maybe. But I still think that knight takes bishop would have been fine here.
what
No problem.
would be the best move? Knight take bishop?
Yeah, knight takes bishop. Bishop takes.
Yeah, it's a fine move. Yeah, I think
Yeah, it's a fine move.
it
It's a
is.
fine
I
move.
think it's the best move.
Yeah,
No,
it
maybe.
is the best move. And because the point of knight c5 was now you take back with the knight so
Oh,
that
you don't even take the rook.
g7 is also you can take the rook. Wait. But if you take the rook,
Yeah, you take the rook, I guess. Okay, so that's what happened.
you can take the rook, but I still think that white is in a better position. I think computers agrees too because sometimes
Okay, so
position
this,
matters more than the pieces. And I think this is what Alston was going for.
yeah.
I think Alston also realized taking the rook will not do much harm. It won't do much benefit to him. I think this was what he was going for when he played the c5 move. And I
Hmm.
think his opponent missed the trick by trying to sacrifice. That sacrifice was unnecessary.
Yeah. Actually, he thought for so long. He, didn't really find a good move. He just thought that maybe there's something, some kind of, sacrifice
Yeah.
here. So,
It happens at the intermediate level players. Like you
yeah,
have got a great position, but you
yeah.
don't know that one move which will lead you to victory.
Yeah, that key move that defines the advantage for your position, that holds the position together, that you have to play that move. If you do not play that move, then something like this happens. Because the position, even at this point, the position is equal.
कितना?
You lost a rook, but the position is equal.
कितना?
See, are you there?
Yeah, I am there. I'm there. Just a minute.
Yeah, I will be back in a minute.
Okay.
Okay, so uh I just checked it, but Aromal, who's Elson's opponent, is actually a very good, you know, highly rated, FIDE rated player. It's
Yeah, I thought so.
1670
He must be a
something.
good federated player.
Ah, we were getting confused by, his low chess form
Yeah.
scores. I did not actually check. My apologies to Aromal whenever you will watch this stream. So yeah,
Yeah.
let's
But
continue with the game.
anyways, it's a really good win. You won from a
Yeah,
very low time advantage, even
Yeah,
if the
let's
rating is balanced.
let's roll further. Let's roll further.
Yeah. Okay, so this move. Okay, so now we have to completely, change our perspective of the analysis. We were, analyzing from a perspective of a low intermediate player. Now we have to balance it.
No, I think the perspective does not change because we were seeing how good he is playing. We were just oblivious to the fact that what his actual rating was. That
yeah,
does
True.
not change the fact that we were definitely appreciating how good he was. Let's
yeah,
just
Yeah,
go,
very.
go through the game.
yeah.
And he
Just
played a very nice end game. You can see 12 seconds against 4.5 minutes. And he
True.
snatched the game from there.
Very, very, very good.
Yeah, just roll it further.
Okay.
Ooh,
Wait. Why was this
that
move bad?
this was definitely time pressure. This was
Yeah, true.
definitely time
True.
pressure.
You don't know what to play, and then you just play a random rook move, which is
Yeah,
protected by.
exactly.
Yeah. What would have been the best move here? Okay, so the rook is obviously hanging, so you don't want to, get mated here. Uh, hmm. Okay, what do you think the best move was here?
I think probably
Queen H4?
just yeah. I was also thinking the same. Queen H4 could have been
Yeah, it is a
good.
good move. The engine is
Yeah,
fluctuating because the rook is now, defended, and if you take here and here, yeah. Okay, so it's all right here. So okay, this is bad because you get checked
yeah.
here.
That's what exactly happened. Queen H4 was the move, I guess.
Yeah, queen takes e3 check was the move, and no, queen h4 didn't happen.
No, it didn't happen, but it was the best move. Yeah, yes.
Yeah, it was the best move. True. Okay, so okay, that what we did. Wait a second. Okay, sorry. Uh, which mover? Okay, h1. Okay,
Yeah, let's
queen takes
continue,
e3.
continue, continue
Rook
in game.
d1. Yeah, rook d1
This is
here.
where they started getting well. This is where Elston lost the game after this. He was
Yeah,
completely in control in terms of time, in terms of position, in terms of material
true.
advantage, and he just threw it up
Yeah,
from high.
he just
First blunder of the game.
first blunder of the game. True. He could have, he did thought for a minute actually, but what he
And
did
you
spent
see,
a minute on this move.
from a human perspective, obviously you are trying to kick away the queen, but you
Queen,
forget
true,
that queen also has better squares to go, and your king is crammed up. This bishop
true.
is very vicious
The
here.
yeah,
This bishop is very vicious, and if you even take the bishop, that knight again, what happened in the game? That knight becomes a deadly weapon there.
yeah, and actually, no, we have this, in chess that apart from peace, majority, and good position, you also need to make sure the king is safe actually, and the black king
Yeah,
is not actually safe here. You have a h pawn, not even defended, so that's why the advantage for white is so huge.
yeah. Let's roll it further. There were blunders by
h4,
both of
h4,
them
and he
in this
did
game.
find the right move actually.
Yeah,
Okay, so takes here, and we actually quite see this. We actually followed the game here. 17, 19.
yeah,
Okay, so here we saw another,
yeah.
you know,
Here was the moment after. This was completely unnecessary. Just stop it one move back when he played G3 before that.
yeah,
That was completely unnecessarily because just pull back G3 also.
yeah.
So I think H3 was the move here. H3.
Here, H3. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
it shows.
because if even if he tries to go for the check of knight, the king can easily escape. That G pawn is not a liability now. It is actually the wall that protects you.
Yeah, yeah, true.
No, not there. You lose your queen. Not there.
Oh yeah,
On
it's
the
a four. Oh yeah,
H2. Not there. You lose the queen. Then
yeah,
wall. Yeah.
yeah, true.
So yeah, and those H and G pawn are actually protecting you like a wall. But when you
Yeah,
push that G3 pawn, it became that after that knight sacrifice, that
mm,
weak G pawn was your liability
true. I
because you
mean,
had
it's
no
not
other
even a
square to go.
sacrifice actually. It's not even a
You had
sacrifice.
no
It's
other
just
file
taking
to
the.
go other than G file.
Yeah,
But when you opened up H3, you can move up on the H file and ignore the G attack completely
true.
and just push your pawns. Yeah, so just roll it further now.
Wait. G3 and then taking with the queen was just a pressure move. Was purely a pressure move.
Yeah, it was.
I mean,
I think he was also counting on the fact that I have got two very nicely passed pawns. Maybe I
true.
can promote them.
He actually had
Yeah,
three pass pawns, one connected. How could Alston, lose from this position? Or even
let's see. Let's see. That was such a big blunder
very,
while playing the king moves.
yeah.
That's
He
why
actually,
I love endgames, because anything can happen, and it's totally dependent on how well you can handle that pressure.
yeah, true. And games are really
And
tricky. You
Alston,
really,
unfortunately, even with the biggest time advantage you will see in a rapid match, he was not able to handle that pressure well. And that's
yeah.
what costed him the game. So yeah, just okay, right.
He actually overlooked the fact that the these connected pawn were could be dangerous in the game. If
But
you
Black still has the advantage because Black also has got his pass pawn, and if the
true,
rooks stay where they are, then they won't be able to promote. I think Elston's mistake was moving his king there. Let's roll it further, Yeah, this was fine. And
yeah, here,
then he played this, which equaled the game. There was no need of this. Your king was completely safe. There was no queen, no bishop, which could have targeted it at the h8 square. It's one of the safest place for king. You bring it
true.
out, and you are just giving the pawns more space to function now. Because now
So
king leaves up the vulnerability. Okay, yeah. Next move.
he wins the knight again, which was not a good
Uh,
move actually. Okay.
I think it's fine. It's decent. You are
Yeah,
trying to see,
exactly.
again, look at the time pressure he has got. You are
Yeah,
trying for
true.
the moves which will make the opponent think. So pins are definitely one of those. I would have gone for that.
True, very true. I mean,
No hard feelings there. Yeah, I would
if
have
my
gone for that.
opponent has a lower time advantage, I would really play some obscure move which confuses the opponent, and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
he
Let's
it
now,
induces him.
let's quickly go through this because we also want to see Arjun's game. That was a hell of an end game there also. Yeah, just
True.
and this was the
Yes.
defining. You don't want to move your king into the pawn chain. Want to move it out of the pawn chain. If you have got two rooks
Yes.
also, that was the
See here,
match deciding blunder according to me.
here he too blundered again because you see here you should have pushed the pawn, I
Yeah,
guess.
because now also you had a chance. You
But he
again had a
again,
chance to move the king to a better square, but
yeah,
again he did not play it. He just walked into the promotion.
yeah,
That's what I'll
and
say.
this queen, this king, yeah, actually. Okay, so from this point now on, it's
Yeah, so the
winning.
game is now over. Now just let's quickly switch to Arjun's game because that was
Yeah,
a very nice end game. I really
yeah,
want to look how the middle game went.
yeah. Wait.
And we can, if there's time, we can also look at Arul's game, who is the current leader topper and has won his games in all 6 rounds,
Yeah,
dominating this tournament.
yeah, true.
Absolutely dominating.
Actually, this game, was so sudden, and this game was so good. Actually, the turn of event that we just lost
Yeah.
the track of time that we have to analyze other games as well.
Yeah. This was such a good game. And because no one expected, no. When you are down to 8 seconds and the
Yeah,
opponent has got to 5, 6 minutes, no one expects you to grab a
yeah,
win like this. Yeah, just quickly switch to Arjun's game.
uh,
Yeah, we definitely want to look at this game.
yeah.
Yeah, just move it back to
77
the
moves
screen.
game this went.
Yeah, and that's what a longer time format games looks like. Yeah.
Before. So we have a
Oh,
Sicilian
Sicilian.
here.
Okay, let's see what he plays. Classic old Sicilian. I prefer to play Alpen as it really throws off Sicilian test, but yeah, this is good. Okay, they're just playing the classic lines to highly rated players, nothing fancy. Oh,
True. What?
yeah, no, nothing. It
Do you
was
prefer knight
old.
f6 here? I don't
Not
think that the
really,
pawn.
because after knight f6, e5 is coming. I would not want
Yeah,
that.
exactly. Yeah,
That is better, and you can probably later play f5 or something and put the knight there or try
yeah.
to create
These are
something
all,
from there.
these are all book moves and good moves. Nothing you
Ah,
really,
and now playing e5 is actually bad because e5 will not do much there, and obviously it will block the light square bishop, but the knight can come out to a very good outpost on f5
Yeah, true. It's
if
actually the
e5.
knight is yet, that pawn is actually restricting the knight. No,
Yeah, that
the
pawn
D.
on
Yeah,
standalone pawn on e4 is very crucial. Let's see. Yeah, let's
true.
progress. f4 is
Yeah.
played. Very good move.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, you have to develop a piece. This is all standard stuff. Just hold it here, yeah.
Yeah.
F5. Okay,
Hmm.
if you would not have played, he would have played F5, so you had to,
True.
I guess.
I mean, here you take and it's
Takes,
not,
in exchange. No, there's takes. No, there's not an exchange here. You lose a
yeah,
piece. Uh,
it's still equal
knight
though.
to d5. Then knight to d5 is the best move. What he played. What?
Yeah.
Yeah, knight to d5. That's the best move.
Yeah, because that pawn which was here, it was restricting
Oh,
these two squares. But now
yeah.
since the pawn is gone, you have this access to this square.
And
So
also, yeah, you have to trade the knights now.
okay, so okay,
Wait. Just one move back, one move back. I'm really trying to see developing the bishop to g4. What was the point there? You can easily get kicked by h3, and that's a
true.
waste of tempo, according to me.
You are ultimately going to go on this, because
Yeah.
the bishop, it's simply a pawn. You cannot go here. You
If
obviously won't want to go
this
here. You
was
have
a
to go
blitz
here.
game, if this was a blitz game, then h3 would have definitely been played there.
True.
Yeah,
Wait, let me just connect my charger.
yeah, sure. Let me see. So knight bishop g4 is played, and then it's f takes g7. Obviously, you want to weaken the king side, and king takes d7. That is forced. The king is very weak, and yet I don't see any holes or any chinks in the armor. What's missing here? Yeah, just move the game forward.
Wait.
Animation.
Just a second.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so I'm connected here. Okay, so yeah. Hmm. So he took the pawn here, and then hmm. Why was
Fine.
okay? So I guess the engine wanted to use that pawn as an umbrella pawn, and then just move your rook. Yeah,
Yeah, probably. Yeah, that was the move.
you shouldn't have taken the pawn because now the king is open. But okay,
But
it's
again,
not
even with the king, you should see that white definitely has got some good pieces, but black pieces are equally good. Both of the
exactly.
bishops.
Yeah,
All
these
four
this
bishops
bishop
are
is
very well placed in the game, and so
yeah.
there's not really much of an advantage for either side.
True, very true.
Also,
I
the
mean,
fact that black's second rook can come immediately,
yeah,
but white will have to first develop the bishop, that one move delay.
yeah,
Again, it's a rapid game. In a blitz game, that would have been a big difference, I guess.
yeah, true.
Hmm.
Yet still,
Let's
the
just
engine
go.
is showing a point 0.7. Well,
Yeah,
white
exactly. This
cannot.
is just a draw. For human
Yeah,
games, this is just a draw.
yeah, true.
Anything from +1 to -1 is a draw. Yeah, just
Uh, White cannot even,
don't.
yeah, use that advantage. Not a
Yeah,
really meaningful advantage.
I
Yeah,
still
so
don't get why he was not playing h3.
history, yeah.
Just play
You know,
h3. Roll back rook f4. Roll back and play h3. Was that some kind of mistake? No,
no,
that's actually the
second best move or the best move actually.
yeah second best move or the best. Exactly. Why are you not playing h3? Okay,
Actually,
just rook f4, rook f4. Let's continue with rook f4. Let's see what
okay,
happens. Rook
okay, wait.
f4,
Yeah. Okay, so here, so he's, you
rook
know,
h4.
very.
Oh,
So he, what did he?
that's a
Oh
little
no, he.
back
It's
rank
a,
trick.
it's a back
Little
rank.
cheesy trick there.
Yeah. Okay. So it's a okay. Okay. equal. Nothing,
They both are playing very good moves, just the for best or second best moves, and taking almost no time.
Yeah. Here actually black was better actually, but somehow.
No, this is
White cannot really take the advantage of being better point 0.8 or point 0.9. Okay, so okay. So he's insisting on
White is
taking the,
desperately trying to force an endgame here by trading
yeah,
them. Oh, just
wait.
go back to
Wait.
previous. Yeah, somewhere
Uh,
here.
Around here? No, no, not
No,
here.
no, no.
F1, yeah, here.
Yeah, here. Okay.
He's insisting on trading the rooks, but he don't want to trade the rooks himself. He want black to take. Okay, now he has
Hmm.
to take. Okay, so it's a bad move. Why?
It's a bad move, I guess, because just wait here. Let me see. I
I think you don't
definitely.
want to trade the rooks here.
Yeah, probably because the Black's king can advance pretty quickly.
Hmm. True.
Uh,
Yeah.
Black's king can advance pretty quickly. White's bishop does not have a very good position there.
Yeah. He has
It
to.
either has to retreat. It either has to retreat it or go further up the position where where it's attacking the thing, where it's defending the thing.
Yeah. So if he goes here and then it's another attack on the bishop.
Yeah, that can be played. And after that, playing there's nothing stopping you from playing king e5 and king e4
True. Very true. The
because
active king is
then
what giving the
yeah,
black advantage
say
here.
king e5, then king g2, then king e4 is unstoppable,
True.
and the game is kind of lost there.
Yeah, because the king is shouldering this pawn here and then
Yeah, and then you can just keep on pushing from left pawns from left and right,
yeah,
trying to trying to create a position of zugzwang and taking it from there.
yeah. So okay, so it was my move actually.
So let's see what
Yeah,
happens. Yeah,
e5 actually he
yeah,
played e5.
e5 and e4 as I said.
Yeah, see he's
Yeah, that was
bringing his
unstoppable.
king. So yeah, he further lost his advantage even more because
And now this is even bad. Just pause it one move back. This is even bad because now uh, he has retreated his bishop, and by playing a3, I guess maybe you're trying to stop the black square bishop by going b4 sometime in the future, but you are also highly weakening your structure. If the bishops are traded, your
yeah,
structure is much more vulnerable.
yeah.
Yeah. Just now, let's see what happens. Okay, bishop c7.
Sure.
That was not needed. You could have just pushed the pawns. Bishop was
The,
sitting
the
nicely
bishop
there.
was
You can
really
can't it.
nice place there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so good trade king here. Okay, so black is losing the touch.
See, black was trying to take advantage of that pin, but
Yeah,
that was not practical there. It should have, I think, better move would have been bishop to e5, I guess,
yeah.
taking it from that side.
Hmm.
Because b2 pawn is especially vulnerable, the b side pawn.
Yeah. Okay, so
Okay, let's see. Why?
what?
No, no, that's a completely reasonable move.
Yeah. Okay, so definitely a bad move here.
Third move and the no, no, no. Just
Okay.
wait there. Wait. What was the best move here?
Here
I
at this position.
No, no. After King D2,
Okay,
after he
okay,
blundered,
okay.
what was the best move?
I think
No, on
this.
D3.
Yeah, this was the best
Yeah,
move.
this was the best move. Yeah,
Wow.
because
Because
after
you
C takes
have to
B3.
take it because you cannot push. If you push, this pawn gets free. You have to
Yeah,
take and
exactly. And
then you
after
have
that, you
to
can
just
push this.
yeah. Wow.
Yeah, but I think he missed that tactic. No problem.
Actually, he had so much time yet. Still,
But sometimes, when there are tricky endgames like this, you
yeah,
don't want to try something very fancy. He was going with a
yeah,
plan that, I will first trade off the king side pawns, and
yeah,
then I'll see if we can make out a draw or take a win from the queen side. And he was sticking to the plan. That is good. You don't want to try
yeah,
something, and you see, we have seen in the Alston game.
yeah,
He tried to kick away the queen and all, and he blocked his own king, and then he tried to reinforce with the king, but that went into the wrong move order and enhanced the promotion of the pawn. So yeah,
yeah.
that was there. So he was sticking to the plan, and that's good.
Hmm. Okay, so h takes g3, and then we have h takes g3 again.
Hmm.
Okay, so here, check.
At this
Here,
point, I was really convinced it was a draw.
yeah, true. Simply push. Okay. I mean, it's quite, it looks dangerous
I
to,
would not have played that.
yeah, that allows the king there actually. But
Yeah,
you have to
I do not
move the,
like king f3 there. If my king is
yeah,
on d1, I will not like king f3.
yeah. But actually, it's attacking the bishop, so that's why I thought he would do that. Okay, so I think that that move
I
was
would have
his,
taken the bishop to the other side,
yeah,
probably to e3. But okay, that's also a fine move.
yeah. So the king is actually restricted on the second second rank.
Yeah,
Okay, so it's quite back and forth, back and forth. Oh, that was the move here.
that was the blunder,
I think he did wanted to go for an en passant. He said,
and he should have gone for the en passant.
yeah,
There are some things which some unspoken rules which you should not break, and he
yeah,
tried to break one of those. If he had gone for en passant, it would have really benefited him.
yeah,
But again, as I said, these fancy ideas are really good.
yeah.
Our last two rounds are on Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll release the standings tomorrow after the one game left in this round.
Yeah, okay.
So, any comments on the game still now? What?
I mean that the game previous from this, which we were, analyzing
Hmm.
the time crunch and the as Divyanshu,
Yeah,
mistook
yeah.
mistook Arumal that being an upset, but it wasn't. Actually, we
Hmm.
both were, quite
No, no.
got fooled from the rating of
No,
the.
we were definitely appreciating that he was playing a good game. I was just,
Yeah, true.
unaware of this actual ratings.
But
Yeah.
any ideas on any thoughts on the games going on? Like, what do you feel of the tournament till now?
I definitely feel that for a rapid tournament, the games are really going fast.
Hmm.
We have not seen much, those tight end games.
Hmm.
We had two end games today, Arjun and Elston games,
Hmm. Hmm.
but most of the games are finishing somewhere in the range of 30, 35 moves.
Yep. So
Yeah, true.
So
let's.
I think for such higher rated players, that equal and even fight in the middle game is not happening.
Yeah, someone is blundering in
One
the
of them
opening.
blunders in the middle game, and the game is lost then and there.
Hmm.
Yeah,
They're not putting up the fight to take the game into an end game,
Hmm.
and then play some grippling and some fascinating games like this one which we have seen right now.
that's what happened in the Ronix game today. Actually,
Hmm.
he
Yeah,
Yeah.
lost. He was losing from the middle game or opening. Actually,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah. Because from such high rated players, you expect them to know their theory well. You
Yep.
expect them to maneuver their pieces well in the middle game, and then try to get into end game. Play it like Fabi versus Magnus, and looking
not
for that
quite like
small
that,
one
but
move which
Yeah.
can decide.
Hopefully, we
And
will
this
see.
endgame was perfect.
Yeah, it
This
was good.
endgame was a
yeah,
perfect example of that. Arjun versus
yeah,
Blood Matrix. That was perfect example of that. One little blunder and you just lost a dead
yeah,
draw.
true.
Hmm.
I'll say.
Yep. Sure. I hope we will surely see some interesting games in the last two rounds.
Yeah, I mean it's going to be, close
I guess
tournament. We are
going
close to
further,
final.
the players who are lower on the points table will also lose a little of their motivation. It will be a competition among the top 4, 5,
Yep.
and some of the guys will be really, really motivated and excited,
Yeah.
to take the top spot from Arul now.
Yeah. It will be interesting to see how it goes.
Yeah,
But still, we had great matches today, I believe.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
the matches were really good. The round six was especially great. I'll
Yeah.
say
Yeah.
for these two games, it was the best round of the tournament so
Yeah.
far.
True. It was, very interesting to commentate on them as well. If
Hmm.
something, dramatic happens, we have something to say as well. Chess is not something yet that you can enjoy
And
by
Alston's game
commentating.
was so wild while we were doing the live commentary. The eval bar is going up, going down, going up, going down, dancing along the
Yeah.
tracks. That was
We
really
were
fun to
just
watch.
on tenterhooks actually. We were just, jumping on our toes actually, that how, he turned his 15-second advantage. Even he was down 11 seconds and the other person
Three
was,
seconds, bro.
somewhere
At
around.
the end of
Hmm.
Yeah.
at the end, it was just 3 seconds, and there's 5 second
Yeah,
increment.
3 seconds. He
I've
made a
seen
move
some
in
reels
three
where
seconds.
he gave it 2 seconds increment as well, and that these games are
Yeah.
wild. These games are really good today,
Yeah.
True.
and some unreal domination from Arul.
Yeah.
He has won all of his 6 games so far, and he is really looking in very good touch.
Yeah. So let's see how
Yeah,
the games holds up and who takes the crown of the
yeah.
championship.
Let's look at the rankings now after round six.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. We will share the updated rankings tomorrow because we have left by a match. So
Okay. Okay.
updated results and
Okay,
rankings
okay,
tomorrow.
okay.
But yeah, we had a great set of matches, and I hope to our viewers you all enjoyed. It was a great day,
Yeah,
and hopefully
it was
we will
really
share the updated rankings and standings tomorrow. Join us on Sunday. We will be having an interesting final 2 rounds, and then we will be getting our top finalist and the champion of the championship. So you do join, and also also an important update for all the IITM BS students. We will be soon having inter-house chess championship at Paradox. So get ready for it. It will be an interesting
cool.
over the board tournament at IITM campus. So yeah, you will get the details soon. So be ready in June. Do register, come and have fun. Yeah. Thank you all for joining today. It was a great day. Thank you so much, Anivesh.
Yeah,
Thank you so
thank
much,
you.
Ibranshu, and Ronak as well
Thank
for
you so
the
much.
commentary. And best of luck to all the players for the upcoming matches.
Yeah,
Best of luck, guys.
sure. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for having us. Thank you.
Okay.